You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With the century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service for people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer. Since 1947, the staff at Bruna Implement Company works daily to provide the best parts and service when you need it, always dedicated to their customers. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations, and they know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. With locations in Marysville, Washington, Clay Center, Seneca, Hiawatha, and Humboldt, Nebraska. Stop by or give them a call today.
Welcome into the TVL Rundown as we inch closer to postseason sports throughout the Twin Valley League. Action starting to heat up. We're going to start on the volleyball court. Big congratulations to the Lynn Lady Bulldogs as they won the 2025 Twin Valley League tournament last Saturday. Jeff, you were over there at Onega for that. How was the excitement and the action there?
Oh, it was nonstop action. Just absolutely incredible. I, at one point during the day, thought at least 6 teams had a chance. That's how competitive it was. I thought 6 teams were like that close to getting to that championship. The ball falls the right way, and they're right on. And it just happened to be Lynn because I think they played the best tournament. Going in and out of these games, played excellently. But, yeah, it was very competitive. It was very loud. That's how good these TVL crowds were all day long Saturday.
And we've been talking about Lynn, Valley Heights, Centralia, Hanover volleyball all season. But for the Lynn girls, we remember last year they made the tournament. I'll call it kind of a surprise to some people. How much confidence, though, does this give this Bulldogs team going into regionals, which will start next week, and then hopefully a state run down at Emporia at the end of the month?
I think it's huge. And then they had another one on Tuesday night with a big couple of wins. And, yeah, this team is playing very confidently. And we all know there's a small difference between confident and cocky. And this team is playing very confident right now.
Now, I want to talk about some of those other teams. Hanover ends up taking second in that one. Valley Heights gets that third-place victory over Centralia. And I know we talked about them all season, that they're going to be state qualifiers, hopefully, here at regionals. But that gives those teams some motivation, I would assume, going into postseason play.
Right. There's going to be no complacency with these teams that finished second, third, fourth. It's going to be total motivation. It's going to be, okay, we're right there. And probably, as I said earlier, had that opportunity and just fell short. And, yeah, that's going to be the biggest motivator of anything the rest of the season.
And when we look at it, regionals will be next week, next Monday and Tuesday at the time of recording. Valley Heights in 2A is the only team that has their schedule announced. There will be the 5 seed down at Hillsboro, the 4 seed, Republic County the 12, and Remington the 13 seed. But this regional / sub-state for the Mustangs is not going to be an easy one if they want to make a trip back out to Dodge City this year.
Right now, I think if there is a team in the TVL that has momentum, even after dropping a couple of games, I think Valley Heights is the one. They are mentally right there. And again, we go back to that, if the ball falls the right way. There are just a couple of things that I saw for Valley Heights that not really put them behind, but they know they have to look at. And I know that coaches and players over there will be practicing hard and getting those little kinks worked out. And I can't wait to see what this team does either.
Now, one other team we've talked about all season, the Axel Lady Eagles, looking at their regional in terms of records. They're right now sitting at the 2 seed at 22-13, Waverly the 3 at 20-13, but then the 4 seed Lebo, who's been a state power, 15-21, top seed in that one, Mares-de-Seine Valley. I think Axel's got a good shot of getting out of their regional and making a trip down the state, just based on records.
Again, you have to still play to your best. If these tournaments were just picked by records, then what's the point? They still have to be in it every time. They can't just say, okay, this is our game, because you play it on the court, and that's what Axel has to do going forward. If they are even tripping a little bit, they could get surprised. But yeah, looking at the record, looking at the past history, it does look like a good time for Axel to put the pedal to the metal.
And not to beat a dead horse by any means, but I know we talk about it week in and week out. I think the TVL is the strongest league throughout the state, and I think that really bodes well for these teams because they have played each other and really eaten each other up throughout the year, so they know the level of competition that they have to play at in order to be successful.
Oh, I don't mind beating that dead horse because I think that horse has a lot of truth to it. Max, I not only think it's the best league in the state, I think it's the best league in the state by a long, long way. And that's what prepares these teams for the state level. And, you know, I say this in basketball a lot. I sometimes think the league tournaments are more competitive than maybe not the state tournament, but definitely leading up to the state tournament. So, yeah, I mean, you say you don't want to beat a dead horse, I'll be glad to, because I will shout this out from the mountaintops. The TVL is the best league in the state.
You are always that homer we like to talk to when it comes to that standpoint and continuing the level of competition. There's a big one Friday night, Jeff, and I think everyone's heard about it. If you haven't, might have been living under a rock, but Axel at Hanover are going to tangle off. We'll have that broadcast on FM 95.5. Just real quick, Jeff, I want to talk about that game. I think this is a contest between two high prolific programs. It's going to be interesting in styles to see how each coach handles it. Axel, I feel, has a little bit more speed to them this year than years past, but Hanover right back to that physical style of football play. What are your expectations going into this game?
Terrific football. Maybe this year might be the closest these two have been in a few years at least. I think there is a razor-sharp separation between these two teams, and we're going to see a lot of scoring. You're going to hear a lot of cheers, and that place is going to be packed. I'm leaving actually in about 15 minutes just so I can get into the field at Hanover because it is going to be packed.
You're 100% right there. If you want a spot over there at Hanover, you better get there at least 4 o'clock in the afternoon because they are going to be ready. And not saying it hasn't been this way the last couple of years, but this level of game at this point in the season, I think we're really glad to be able to witness this one and to be able to see what these two teams can put on the field.
Definitely. I think there's, again, just that razor difference between these two. And I think this year, quarterback play might be the best between the two teams in at least a couple of years. I think the way that both of these guys lead their offenses, it's spectacular.
I think you're right there. I know talking with both coaches, they always say it's going to be the mistakes they want to eliminate, turnovers, penalties, that's going to make the game. But at some point, I know you've said it, you've got to have the Joes on the field to be able to execute. And both of these teams, when you look 1 through 8, are absolutely stacked again this year. And I'm with you. I see a lot of scoring in this contest. I see it being fairly close for most of the game. And the history between these two are really going to show themselves with the experience between Matt Hoyer on the Hanover side and Eric Detweiler on the Axel side.
And not to put away any of these other teams on either team's schedules, but this is the one they play for. This is the one that comes up. They know it comes up near the end of the season, and while they're not looking forward past these other teams, they know it's got to be a different mentality going into this week.
You're right. If they didn't have this one scheduled, as soon as I got the schedules back there in September, this was the first one I circled because it is going to be a great contest. Now, it's not the only football game going on Friday night. I'm going to highlight a few here real quick. Republic County at Valley Heights. This is a district game. Of course, both teams are fighting for a district championship if Sacred Heart can fall in either of these next 2 weeks. But I think Valley Heights and Republic County, after Republic County quite a few down years, they're back with just one loss this season. That one's going to be another excellent contest down there at Valley Heights.
And Valley Heights right now, I think, is hitting on all cylinders right now. And they have some great running back play. We'll see a lot of, if the term small ball works in football, that's what we're going to see. Just between the tackles, I'm going to hit you in the mouth, and you're going to like it.
That one is going to be a physical one. And then one more I wanted to note, Jeff, over there in your backyard, Osborne visits Lynn on homecoming. If Lynn is able to come away with a victory, not only do they pick up the 5th win of the season, but they'll pick up the district title. And that one's got to excite, I think, a lot of people over there in that area.
Oh, without a doubt. It's been one of their goals since day one under Trevor Kuhlman. It's been one that has been almost there and not quite made it. Now they know they have that opportunity, but still, they've got to go play the game. It's not given to them right away. They've got to go play for 4 quarters.
And with so many games going on, as always, Jeff, where can everyone keep updated Friday night?
Head on over to social media, the TVL Spotlight on both Facebook and X. I will have updates all night long from all of the games around the TVL.
And I'm sure as soon as we know it, too, you will have updates on where all the area teams will be playing regional volleyball next Monday and Tuesday. KNDY will also have that at the beginning of next week. That's going to close out this week's edition of The Rundown on a busy week in the Twin Valley League. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week here on the TVL Rundown.
You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.